What is up, people? This is the Oracle. We are back online for a new draft. The set that's available this week is Zendikar, which is a set I like a lot, probably more than most people. So probably you know that it has the reputation to be one of the most aggressive set ever, but I think it's still quite interesting, and I just like it a lot. Best card in this pack I think is pretty clearly Journey to Nowhere, which is one of the better removal and best common in the set. Very efficient, strong. Highland Berserk is fine, it's a pretty good ally. Gazer Glider is pretty good too. And then you have a couple feelers, some medium creatures. Nothing too great, but Journey is pretty clearly the best card here. And we got past the Gigantiform. So this set is very aggressive and there's some pretty good removal in this set, but this card this aura is still incredibly hard to beat and incredibly fast to kill with. It's just pretty insane. So basically, you put that on a creature and it becomes an 8/8 with trample. And if it has flying, it keeps flying. If it has any ability, it keeps the ability. But it's gonna be base power and toughness 8/8 and trample 2. It's just a very good card. Another very good card in this pack is Living Tsunami, 4/4 for 4 mana. There's a drawback, which is getting a land back to your hand, but very often this is not even a drawback because with landfall you can get some this can be pretty useful. Tsunami works very well with the eel, which is also a pretty good 4-drop in blue. Then Glider is also good, but I think weaker than these two blue cards. So I don't know. I like blue-white more than green-white, but Gigantiform is quite busted. It is a very good card. So this set is really aggressive, and good 2-drops are really good. Like, you might think that this is medium. This card is actually very good. Basically, just a 2/2 for 2 is quite solid, and then it can grow bigger each time you cast an ally. It's quite good. Another good card here is Aeronaut, 2/2 flying for 2, and if you kick it, you can give something flying. Slightly harder to cast, but I think it's better enough that I'm gonna pick that over the Survivalist. Other than that, Spire Barrage is pretty good if you can afford to have enough mountain to make it good, basically. Bloodseeker looks bad, but is pretty solid. Shortcutter is decent. Gul'Draz's Vampire pretty good. But yeah, I think, Aeronaut is just the best card in the pack with Survivalist, and we are white already, and green, so it's fairly easy pick. Shepherd of the Lost is really good too. 5 mana is a decent amount of mana in this set. Like, you cannot just, stumble, not do anything during the first 2 or 3 turn and then just cast a 5-drop. But you can afford to play a couple 5-drop, and hopefully your curve is still good enough to be fine playing these. It's a pretty good card. If they don't have the removal, it's gonna be very tough to race. Like, creatures are rather small, and yeah, this just blocks everything with first strike. It has vigilance. It's just very good. Makindi Shieldmate is fine. It's defensive, obviously, but it's good if you have other allies. It's a fine card. This is just better though. Do like Gamazo a decent amount. 0/3 Defender Flying, which is fine rate. I mean, it's not great for 3 mana, but you can block stuff with that, and then you can tap it and shuffle itself plus the creature it's blocking to their owner library. So basically, it's kind of a removal. They do have to attack in it, but it's still a removal, and you can just block 2-power creature for a while before you decide to shuffle something back. This pack is very good. Like, it's pick 5, and there's still Inferno Trap in the pack, which is a very good removal. Grazing Glade Heart, which is solid 3-drop, not amazing but solid. Mosquito, which is really good. I mean, it's fine. It's paying 7 mana is a lot, but if you can get there, it's a lot of value, obviously. Puma is playable. Welkin Turn is very good. I don't know. I think it's between picking Glade Heart and staying in green, or picking the trap, which is better, and see if maybe red is open. We haven't seen match green yet. I think I'm gonna go with the trap. I also like white red more than green white. And yeah, again, that card is very good, and I'd be happy to play it, but we haven't seen match green. Predatory Urge I don't think is very good. If they don't have any removal and you can put that on a big creature, it's gonna be good, but that's that's two conditions, like them not having a removal and then um, having a big creature. And there's not many big creature in this set, so I'm not a huge fan. Skyrune Drake is fine. It's a 5-drop, but it does hold the ground and the air pretty efficiently. I'm pretty sure the best card in this pack is Highland Berserker, which is fine. I mean, a 2-drop, a 2/1 for 2 with an upside is a good card in this set. And yeah, since it's the best card and I might want to go red, I think it's fairly easy peak. This pack has not match for us. Eel is really good. I think it's rather late Eel. 7 peak is not like super late, but that card is good. Now I don't think we'll ever end up playing blue. Scholar is weaker than it would be in other set, but still playable. Teetering Peak is fine. Crossroad is fine too. I don't think I should pick any of these though. I think I should pick Mold Shambler, which is a pretty good green card, because there's still a chance I end up playing green. Nothing good here. Slaughter Cry is fine. I mean, you can put that in your deck. It's not bad. It's pretty... It costs 3 mana, so it's... I mean, if you play against someone that knows the set, it's pretty obvious when you have that, and there's not a ton of trick, but it's playable. It's not bad. Fargate is pretty mediocre, so yeah, I think it will just pick the Slaughter Cry. Something you have to be worried about sometime in this set is playables. There's not a ton of playables, and if you don't commit to colors early on, and if you try to pick 3 or 4 different colors, you will very likely end up with not enough playables, and you will have to put some pretty mediocre cards in your deck. Narrow Escape is fine. You can use that as a trick to dodge removal. Gaining life is actually quite relevant. You can also bounce a land back to your hand to get some landfall triggers. It's not the best use, but sometimes it's fine. And if you have 5 mana, there's kind of a trick with Journey where you can cast Journey, and with the trigger on a stack, you bounce it back to your hand, and you can remove a creature and keep your Journey in your hand. I think I'm gonna pick Outfielder here. Again, 2/2 for 2 in this set is solid, decent rate, and Mold Shambler not so exciting. And green has not seemed very open. I think we are kind of moving out of green, and I'm sure that I'm gonna be white pre-match because I have some really solid cards in white, and not so sure about being green or maybe red. Second Narrow Escape, way less exciting. Shudder is a sideboard option, so not super great either. Spire Barrage is pretty good though. Since we have 2 double white cards here, we'll have to play a decent amount of planes, which not the best with Spire Barrage, but oh well. I mean, I'm still fine playing a Spire Barrage in a deck with maybe 8 Mountain. It's not great. It's gonna deal 2 or 3 most of the time, but you can always target player. It's really good in the late game. It's not great, but it's like, if you are mono red, it's really good, obviously. But even if you have maybe around 8, with 7 mountains, I think it's a little bit too low maybe, but with 8 or 9, it's still fine. If you have a 9/8 mana base, it's like playable. Okay, solid options in this pack. Again, Living Tsunami is amazing. Umara Raptor is very good too. 2/2 flyer for 3 that grows if you get some other lies onto the battlefield under your control. Cliff Treader is pretty good. Against 2/1 for 2 with an upside are good in this set. But I'm mostly looking at Blade Tusk Boar, which is really good. Pretty hard to block, good creature, and Torch Slinger, which is weaker body, but you can get value basically. If you can kick it, you get to kill a creature. 2 damage kills a decent amount of creatures here. Even 4-drop that are bigger when they attack, for example, like this one, or the eel we saw in the last pack, the 2/2 flying for 4. You can kill with Slinger. Slinger just like if you look at that pack, Slinger kills everything but the Living Tsunami. It's just a pretty good card. I think it might be slightly better than the Boar. It's pretty close. I think I'm gonna go with Slinger though. Last pack, pretty late, I picked a Renus Minotaur. That card is playable. It's not great. It's pretty good at blocking because of high toughness. It looks bad, but it's actually fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. Okay, I don't really think we want to... I guess there's a chance I end up playing green-red. I think it's pretty slim, but it could happen. Bailout Cage Trap is the best card here. That card is quite good for 4. Basically a 4/4 creature with flash for 5. It's a pretty good rate. I think I should pick a red card though. Windboard Charge is fine. We are looking pretty aggressive, so it could be good. I think we should just pick either Berserker or Slinger. I think Slinger is slightly better. I really like Slinger. It's just good, efficient value. Ooh, Core Sky Fisher. That card is amazing. It's just very good in general. In this set, you are often fine just dropping that and getting a land back. Like, you will probably play a decent amount of 2 and 3 drops, so missing a land drop is not, or I guess being set back to a lower amount of land drop is not really an issue. And, you know, from time to time you get some good value by bouncing back a creature that was maybe enchanted by, I don't know, some pacifism effect. There's no pacifism effect, but there's like a blue enchantment that makes your creature unable to untap. And you can also get back a land like Teetering Peaks and get a bit of value. You can bounce a Torchslinger and, you know, re-trigger it potentially, which is cool. You can just get back your Journey to, you know, use it on something more threatening. It's just a very good creature. It's just, you know, just a great 2-drop with upside. Plated Geopid is among the best common in the set. It's extremely powerful 2-drop. Just like this thing will never get blocked. Like 3 power and first strike, there's really very few creatures that can block that. So you just play that on turn 2 and it's gonna deal 9 or maybe 12 damage. Like it's crazy good. Core Sanctifier I do like a decent amount. A 2/3 for 3 is like playable in this set, and then sometimes the upside of killing maybe Stonework Puma, which is the 2/2 artifact for 3 that's an ally, or a Journey to Nowhere, or there's a couple useful artifact and good equipment in this set. So it's a pretty good creature. Devout Lightcaster I would main deck if I have enough white in my deck. It's pretty good, but Geopid is just better than anything else here. I do like Shadowskull Giant at this moment. Again, this set is pretty simple. It's about beating down and having some good creatures, and 4/3 for 4 is just a good rate in this set. I'm not super thrilled about the second Slaughtered Cry. The first one is not very good. The second one is pretty medium. I think I'm gonna go with Teetering Peaks. It looks like I will have enough playballs. I have a bunch of good cards there. We'll probably end up with something like 16-17 by the end of pack 2, which is really good. So I don't think we should really be too concerned about that. And again, the second one is pretty bad, and Teetering Peaks is quite good. Not the best combo is Spire Barrage, which we do have here, so maybe I will not play it. I guess we'll see. Works pretty well with the Sky Fisher, though potentially useful with Narrow Escape. Yeah, we'll see. Do like having 1 Windborne Charge, I think, in this deck. It's looking pretty aggressive. We have some solid, good beater on 2. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty aggressive deck. Even though I have some value creatures, so I don't mind that. Shieldmate is fine. We cannot get a ton of value out of it because right now we only have Berserker, which even, you know, most allies just grow bigger. So you are pretty happy to, you know, if you can play a Shieldmate that might block a couple things and be useful, and you grow one of your 2-drop in the meantime, it's pretty good. As it is right now, it's not looking very good. It's probably not the deck for Pylarfield Ox, but that thing is better than it is in most set, I think. Mark of Mutiny is an option, I guess. I think I'll go with Shieldmate. I think Shieldmate is just better. And we already have Windborne Charge, which kind of does the same thing as Mark of Mutiny, which is giving you some ways to kill your opponent in evasion. And I feel like if you end up with too many of these cards, sometimes it can be a bit clunky. Cliff Treader, pretty good creature again. 2/1 for 2 with upside is good in this set. Ooh, we will the other Windborne Charge. I might want to play both. That should not have wheeled. That card is really good. So I mean, green did not feel very open, but we are winning decent that, so it's kind of weird. Oh well. Yeah, some pretty good green card quite late. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with my white and red cards though, so yeah. It might just be that people, since it's a flashback draft, uh, there could be some people at the table not knowing this set very well, which means that something wheels or go late where they should not be. Brave the Element, I think, is quite underrated. I like that card a good amount. The fact that you can use it to dodge a removal and kill your opponent sometime is just quite nice. Right now, this deck does not have a ton of white creatures, though. We have like 5 white creatures that can attack, so it's not looking good, but I don't mind playing it in some decks. Here I'm gonna pick Marshflat. Well, it's randomly good with Geopedes, but it's just for money, honestly. It's worth probably the same amount as the draft itself. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna pick that. I guess if I was, I don't know, at top 8 Pro Tour and I would have to make the right pick, it's probably Punishing Fire, just very good. 2 damage for 2 to a creature or player is good in this set, and then you can randomly get it back sometime. Steplings would be pretty good in this deck, and is quite good in general. Shortcutter would be nice. I'd be happy to wheel Shortcutter or Steplings, I guess. And I think Punishing Fire is the peak. By the way, Marsh Casualties is very good. It's very often it's a one-sided Wrath of God, because again, -2 kills a lot of things in this set, really a lot of things. Okay, Pitfall Trap is fine, basically a removal for ground creatures. Not super exciting, but fine. And I don't have a ton of removal right now, so I can probably use that. The other option is the Shatterskull Giant. Since I have 2 Inborn Charge, I think this is quite good actually. Pretty appealing. Again, this is a really good creature. Now the trap is a good removal. Yeah, I should probably just pick the trap. I think we should end up with enough creature. Ooh. Sphinx or Joar Isle is quite insane. Again, this set, this is probably not as good as it would be in other set, because casting a 6-drop is something that's not that easy in Zendikar, but the fact that it has Flying and Shroud, and it's a 5/5, it's like this thing just dominates the board. You can put it, like when you drop it, they are probably not going to be able to attack into it. They cannot remove it from the game with, removal is just very good. Muraza Pyromancer is pretty good, but quite costly, and it's only really good if you have a lot of allies, and right now we have 2 allies, so I don't think it's looking very good. Hexmage, very good to drop, obviously. I think we'll pick Evangel, which is better with more allies, but a 2/3 for 3 is a decent rate in this set, so I'm just gonna pick it as a 2/3 for 3. And maybe if I get a couple more allies, it's gonna be fine. But Pyromancer with 2 allies is just not real, because a 3/2 for 6 is not a good rate, obviously. Another Pyre Barrage. Kind of clunky. We have a good amount of double white, and then this Pyre Barrage, and also that Teetering Peak. So, yeah. That being said, there's just nothing else. Surakar Marauder is a very good 2-drop. Pretty cool creature. Nissa's Chosen, quite good too. But yeah, we'll pick the Barrage. Ooh, Trusty Machete should never go that late. That card is just busted. It's one of the best uncommon in the set. It's just very, very good and very tough to beat. Love it. Magma Rift is fine. You don't really want to end up with too many of these in your deck. And by too many, I think 2 is already too many. Maybe you can get away with 2 in some decks. But I'm pretty happy to have one of these in all my red decks, pretty much. You just have to, there's a drawback, and it's real. It also depends on your curve, obviously. If you are trying to cast a bunch of 5-drop, it's not great. But in this set, you will not try to cast a bunch of 5 or 6-drop. That being said, the equipment is just much better. Another Cliff Treader, I don't mind that. Don't mind getting more aggressive creature when I have 2 Inborn Charge and a Trusty Machete. Ooh, another Inferno Trap. That's amazing. That's a very good removal. Surprised to see that going this late. Ruinous Minotaur is actually pretty sweet with Inborn Charge. Like, you can really one-shot someone out of nowhere, pretty much. I don't think we'll end up playing Narrow Escape. It's a card I don't mind playing when I'm lacking playbills, but I think we have more than enough things to work with there. I think that Windborne Charge is just better than Slaughter Cry, and I don't really want to stack too many of pumping / equipment effect. I think one equipment and 2 Windborne Charge is already quite a lot, so don't really want to add a clunky trick. I'm probably gonna pick Seismic Shudder for my side. It's a fine sideboard option, even though it kills a fair amount of my own creature. I don't mind having that around as a possibility. Pretty late eel. We are quite aggressive, so maybe I should pick Zector Shrine Expedition. Basically, once you've played 3 lands, you get a 7/1 Trample East. This deck is looking really aggressive. Yeah, I like that. Pick the planes, I don't really care about anything. And the Zendikar lands are sweet. Since I have 2 Spire Barrage, which I think I will end up play, I'm not super thrilled about Teetering Peaks. Yeah. Yeah, I think sometime. Well, first this can be a down. I mean, there's a cost in playing that on its own, just because it enters the battlefield tapped, and sometimes it can hurt you more than help you. So there is that. And when you start to have 2 Spire Barrage, I think, I don't know, like, it can be a problem. I think when I'm playing, sometimes you can play monocolor deck in this set. Mono red is really something you can do sometime. I played a mono red deck a couple drafts ago, and if I'm playing mono red, I don't really mind having the Teetering Peaks because I know I'll have at least 4, maybe even 5 mountain when I cast my Barrage. And when you are playing mono red, you often want to throw the Barrage at your opponent's face, so 1 damage is not really gonna matter, especially if you got 2 damage out of the peaks. Now in this deck, I think we'll often want to use. I mean, we are aggressive, but we might want to use that to kill a creature. In which case, having 1 less mountain might really cost us. Like, let's say they have a Living Tsunami, and you cannot kill it because you had a Teetering Peaks instead of a mountain. It can just cost you a game, so I think slightly more problematic. I need to cut stuff. I kind of want to cut the Outfitter because it's quite medium and double white is annoying. On the other hand, I don't really want to cut any creature. I have 15 creature, I don't really want to go down to 14. Could cut a Spire Barrage probably. I don't think it's great in this deck. We will not play that many mountains. And we have 2 Inferno Traps that are kind of similar. You cannot target players, but I don't really think we need that many, burn effect because we have 2 Windborne Charge, and this is, you can count it as a very powerful burn spell basically. So I think we can afford to cut 1 of these. Often you want to play 18 lands in Zendikar. I'm not sure that this deck wants to play 18 lands though. Could cut the Expedition. Minotaurs are not really good. Oh, actually I'm gonna cut Shieldmate, I don't really want that. I don't have any ally, really. And this deck is about beating down, so a defender doesn't really belong in this deck. Now this would be 17 lands because of March Flats we already have in there. Now, do I want to play 18 lands? My cover is pretty low. I don't have that much landfall. I guess the Torchslinger are more like 5 drops though. I don't really think I want to play 18 lands though, but you should consider it very often in this set. I think it's very often right to play 18 lands. It might be right to play 18 lands and cut maybe, I don't know, maybe the Outfitter. But I don't really want to cut any creature. And I think if I'm cutting something for an 18th land, it's probably going to be the Expedition. And cutting a landfall card to add a land is just seems weird to me. I think I'll just go with that. I would qualify this deck, I don't know, really good. Like, if you don't know the set, this might look to you like a medium deck. I think this is, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being awful, 10 being really good, I think this is something like a 9 or an 8. It's like, it's really solid. It's good curve, good creatures, good removal, a bit of value in the end. it kills. It's fast, efficient. I think this is just a very good Zendikar deck. Mana base is gonna be pretty even. I guess Spire Barrage could count as a even triple red spell, kind of. We need the white more. Yeah, it's really even. It's really even. Now I think I need white a bit early round, I guess. And the 2 charges are pretty important to the game plan, so I think I'll go 9-8. I mean, either way it will be 9-8, but the question was 9 mountain, 8 plains, or 9 plain, 8 mountain, and I think it's 9 plains, pretty sure. So that's the deck. White red beatdown. Again, looks pretty strong to me, but we'll see how it performs. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft. If it's the case, feel free to drop a like. You can also share the video, subscribe to the channel. All of these are appreciated, obviously. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you for round 1.